do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Radio Commands, talk today.
If you're ready to talk, we're willing to listen.
Well, I really enjoy this program today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
May God bless every person.
And good afternoon, Radio Cayman Nation, and a very happy Friday to you. Thank you for tuning into your station of the nation, Radio Cayman. I'm Raymond Singh, filling in for Mr. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. We will be kicking off our show today with a long-distance chat with Caymanian artist Miss Precious Shorty. As always, we do welcome your stories, feedback, and questions, and invite you to join our conversation. Simply dial 1-800-534-8255 or 949-8037. Or you can always WhatsApp us at 925-3261. We'll be back with more talk today following this very brief disclaimer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today, the Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program. We ask our listeners to avoid statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use any indecent language or make any statement which is false or misleading. Email talk today at candw.ky or call 1-800-534-8255.
Courtesy of Flow.
Cayman's #1 network that connects you to your world like never before.
Let your voice be heard. Once again, here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
And welcome back to Talk Today. In case you are just tuning in, I'm Raymond Singh, filling in for Mr. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. We do hope he's enjoying his Friday out and about and enjoying his vacation. Before we get underway with our show, we do, as always, invite you to join our conversation. And you can always call us at 1-800-534-8255. We do want to make a quick announcement. Again, we are proud sponsors of the One Love concert series, The Legends of Reggae, taking place tomorrow. First event out of 4 taking place tomorrow, Saturday, December 12th at Coral Beach. A number of our local favorites will be on stage. Mr. Noksha and Local Motion 345, Erica Asai and the Kuyat Band, Stuart Wilson and Band, and DJ Nico. Do remember everything I just said, because later in the show we'll be giving away 2 sets of tickets for tomorrow night's event. But without much further ado, we do want to say a big hello to our very good friend from afar, Miss Precious Shorty. Welcome to Talk Today.
Hi, everyone. How you doing?
We're doing great. How are you over there?
Yeah, Mom, we're doing good. The weather not so bad today.
The weather's not. Has it been really cold in the UK?
Yeah, we had a drop of very, very cold weather, so we all snuggled up in the Christmas vibe.
There we, in all fairness to you, we also had a slight cold front, although I don't imagine it was as bad as yours would have been over there.
I'll take it, though.
I bet. Well, you're missed at home. I have no doubt. Now, you have some great news. You recently, we did a short story on you on our newscast. But fill our listeners in. You've had some great news happen in your career very recently.
Yeah, I did. I have. I'm kind of buzzing about it, to be honest. So I have been nominated for 2 categories for the RBE Awards. I have been nominated for Best Female Dancehall Act and also Best Female Artist RBE 2020.
Congratulations. I think on behalf of all of our listeners, you're making some big waves, whether you've had a number of singles, and no doubt your nomination comes as a result of all the hard work you have put in over this past year. And congratulations, Precious. That's a fantastic news.
Thank you very much. I'm proud of me, and you know what? To all my Caymanian people over there, thank you so much for being with me on my journey and supporting me through it all, because you know what? I can't do it without my fans, my people, and definitely can't do it without home.
Thank you so much for sharing that part. Now, question for you. Now, you mentioned this is the RBK Award. RBE Award. Can you tell our listeners a bit about that award platform and where that award platform is based?
So the RBE platform is based in London, UK, and it is for artists who are not recognized on the mainstream as of yet.
Okay. So these are for theoretically the up-and-coming artists who are getting started in their journeys or their careers or are starting to make a bit of waves, but haven't quite reached that mainstream level yet.
Yes, it's mostly directed to independent artistry.
Okay. Fair enough. And have there been any other Caymanian artists who have been nominated in the past for these awards?
As far as I'm aware of, there has not been any Caymanian artist that has been nominated for that award, any of those awards at all.
Wow, that's great. Now, are all of the artists that are nominated typically based in the UK, or are these global artists as well?
It is mostly for artists in the UK.
Okay, so congratulations! You're making, you're working your way through the circles throughout the UK, and that's fantastic. Now, as far as this awards platform goes, was there anything in particular that occurred that prompted the nomination to come up?
In reference to dance hall, I performed for them my dance hall songs. I've performed at their stage a few times, so that's how I got nominated for that. Obviously, with their pick of choice, and then for best artist, best female artist, 2020. That is on your movement in the UK and basically how hard they're seeing that you're working, how active you've been going. Every time you've released music, they've just been trailing all of the artists. So that's how I've got nominated for that one. They've recognized that I've been speaking to DJ Khaled, Stylo G, Lady Leisha, been releasing lots of music. I've been quite active, so that's how I've got recognized for that award and nominated.
That's fantastic. And when is the nomination period closing off, or when can vote? Is this a people's vote?
So it's 60% people's vote and 40% judges vote, and it closes on December the 15th.
People's vote. All right, and it's December 15th. And we'll get into how your fans here at home can jump online to vote for you. So 50% of the vote, 60% of the vote, is coming from the people's vote, and 40% from judges. It closes off on December 15th. Did I get that right?
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, you got it.
All right. So my memory's not that bad yet.
You got it, man.
So now, when was that dance hall performance that you were recognized for? They were able to see that action, your performance in action.
That was the beginning of the year. So that was between January and March.
Wow. Now, have you been I guess with all the COVID lockdowns, you haven't had the opportunity to perform much. Have you been able to perform much since January?
Actually, you know what? The beginning of my year 2020 was absolutely amazing. I did my first headline show in the UK in South London. So that was absolutely amazing, where I introduced the single Spice, where I spoke to DJ Khaled with. And then after that, I did RBE performances. I performed in Camden Town. I was on a roll, and then it was shut down. So I was ready to go, but it's fine. We still kept going through COVID anyway. So
that's right, yeah, because you had a number of releases during COVID itself. You kept on grinding.
Yes, I also released Cayman Islands, my single dedicated to my country during that time because I couldn't be home with my family, and I think we needed something to uplift us and uplift our spirit. So I did my video in November of 2019, and then I wasn't sure what the right time of releasing it would be, and therefore it came at a great time where part of my people needed their spirits to be lifted.
Sure, no, absolutely. And then as far as the female element, you mentioned that the nomination for that came because of the amount of energy you've been putting out there, the number of songs you've been putting out there over the course of 2020. Is that correct?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. They watch everything for you, like releases, performances, who you're speaking to, how much you're active on your social media. They watch every single thing, how people are rating you and how you're engaging, and they're just going off of that energy and everything that they're seeing on their factual status board.
All right. And then just remind our listeners, how many singles have you released this year?
How many singles have I released this year?
This year. Because you did have a few.
So I've released Spice. I've released Cayman Islands. I've released Bad Girl Wine Remix. And I have released Cups Up. Also, I have released Money Chase. That was my first female collaboration with two other international artists. One was called, her name is Bada Girl, and she's from Spain. And then we have Miss Kiss from Africa, Nigeria.
Oh, wow, you're covering a lot of territory. And when was Blue Fire released? Was that 2019?
Yes, Blue Fire was released in May of 2019.
All right, so the past year and a half is clearly a blur for all of us around the world, especially 2020. So 2019 and 2020 have kind of merged it together, and it's just the way things happen this year. We don't have any perspective on time.
No, I understand that.
Now, so that's what we've had in 2020, and that's quite a bit. Now, do we know when the RBE Awards are going to announce the winners?
We are still waiting for a date for that. They're trying to figure out at the moment, from the government standpoint, if they're going to give us the opportunity to go in an open venue or if we're going to have to do that online. So we're just on a standstill just to wait to see what's going on.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess everything does make sense. You're all dependent upon, like most of us, everyone's dependent upon what policies are put in place from our respective governments due to COVID. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a very tough one for you. Now,
Safety first, though.
Pardon me?
Safety first, though.
Safety first, and that's absolutely correct. And the worst case scenario is we've gone through 9 months of this, a little bit longer, just to gain some insurance and peace of mind is not horrible.
Yeah,
but it's a tough one. It's definitely tough, and it's got to be very difficult with you on being in the performance industry. I mean, your livelihood is dependent upon your ability to perform and release. And I believe last time we spoke, one of our callers, they called to kind of ask you about what you would have suggested to other young artists coming up on how to keep themselves motivated and keep going. And if you don't mind, after our next commercial break, I wouldn't mind posing that question to you, just because there's many artists in Cayman who are up and coming and doing what they can to make their own name for themselves. And here you come from Cayman and you're making your waves in the UK, in a territory that's far more diverse and far more big than we are here in Cayman. But on that note, let's go to our commercial break. When we come back, we'll dabble a bit more into your career and then find out how your fellow countrymen and women can vote for you. Precious, if you don't mind, just stay on the line with us. I'll be back with more talk today following this brief commercial break.
That's a move, hold it down. Yeah, you got the heat and you stay on fleek. And you bring it to the top, I see. Yeah, you'll shine on peak and you stay on beat, on top of me.
It's time to get a lady, it's a party. Bring your friends, bring your peeps, everybody. Take a shot, hold the vibe, we be styling. Living life, paradise, Cayman Island.
Do you remember when 2020 was great?
I don't think it was...
2020 vision, not the year.
Right.
Make 2020 great again with Optical Outlook, the new West Bay store now open. With their designer frames and sunglasses, eye health has never looked so good. Call 746-2020 and book your eye exam today at Caymanian Village and now at Jake Scott Plaza in West Bay, offering premier eye care in Cayman for over 30 years. Come see the difference with Optical Outlook.
I've got some beautiful clothes. I know just where they go. Puritan Cleaners.
By popular demand to serve our valued customers, Puritan Cleaners has revised its schedule for all 3 locations effective immediately. Monday to Saturdays, Eastern Avenue from 7:30 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. Elgin Avenue from 8 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. Savannah Countryside 10 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. Your orders may be transferred to any other Puritan store to suit your working and shopping needs. Let us help you to be ready for those special special events coming up. Call 949-7104. Puritan Cleaners, you feel good when you look good.
Hey, I'm so glad you can make it this weekend.
Of course. Wow, this place is amazing. How did you find this?
I found it on Experience Cayman. They have so many staycation ideas.
I'll check it out. But for now, let's hit that pool.
Experience Cayman is a celebration of everything local. To rediscover all the best things to see and do in the Cayman Islands, visit gov.ky/Experience Cayman and follow Experience Cayman on Facebook and Instagram. Brought to you by the Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure.
Time for turn up, killing with the vibes them. Look around in time to tantalize them. It's a rap when I hit the streets. Sexy little midget ball mass physique. Quarantined and it's time to celebrate. Cups up in this mother place. What you drinking? Let me get a taste. That's fly, grab my ass, pop my lace. Cracking habits with my Christian Dior. My whole style is a damn contour.
And welcome back to Talk Today. In case you're just tuning in, I'm Raymond Singh, filling in for Mr. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks, and we are listening to Precious Shorty's musical talents right here now on Talk Today. Precious joining us on the line from the UK, recently nominated for the RBE Awards for Dance Hall and Top Female Artist of 2020. Precious, thanks again for joining us by phone.
Thank you for having me.
So walk our listeners through again, if you don't mind. We've had a few singles that you've had released this year, along with 2019, a lot on the go. What do we have, though, planned for 2021 for you?
2021, I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm getting some stuff cooked up. I'm not going to share it right now. I'm so sorry. I want to make sure that I got it wrapped up properly in the bag, so when we go bomb, it's going to be lit.
All right. I had to ask. For our listeners that are listening, I had to ask the hard question. But
it's fine.
but we can't let the cat out of the bag just yet. We all like a good surprise now and again as well. And I know for your fans over here, we're all following your career as it is. So I'm sure there's going to be quite a bit on the docket for you in 2021. But before the break, I was asking a question about how you have managed to come through 2020. What would you suggest? And this was a conversation we had last time you were on the show. What would you suggest for the up-and-coming artist, the artist that is unable to perform like yourself right now because of other events? Even though in Cayman we are a little less restricted, it's still a scenario where artists don't have the opportunity to travel as much and do performances outside of Cayman. What would you suggest to those artists on how to manage their careers during this time frame?
I would really suggest that if you guys are going to start going forward and continuing with your music, a time like this, reanalyze everything that you want, get into that focus, because I think at this time of the, COVID, everyone's kind of had a time to kind of sit back, pause, and refocus. So refocus and keep streaming. Get your music streaming online. You need to be on every online platform. Don't just think, I'm going to put my music on YouTube. Make sure that you have a distributor. Get your music distributed everywhere so the whole world can hear you. And have your friends, your family share your music. And downloads is a very, very good way. So streaming is very, very good, but you need a large amount of numbers before you start to see decent income. So if you can get people to download your music, that's a very good way to support. And people, you need to support all the local artists. We need to support each other. And a single, if you guys are releasing a single probably only costs 99 cents. You can spend $1 on anything, so just support your artists.
And then as far as, so you mentioned that distributor part, and those are some great tips. I mean, staying very active across the various media channels, and that distributor element for those artists that aren't fully aware of how the industry works. How do you go about finding that good distributor, or how do you vet the various distributors to determine they're the right fit for you?
So there's lots of different types of distribution companies online. You have different amounts. that you can pay for fees. CD Baby is a good one. What you just need to do is you need to go online and research on what distribution is going to be right for you, because they all offer different packages. But the internet is quite powerful, so a lot of things that the record labels are doing, you as an independent artist can actually do that for yourself.
So you're saying that a lot of the actual work can actually be assumed by the actual artists themselves and forego a lot of the commissions? Is that what you're suggesting there?
Yeah, so when you're going to apply for distribution, you just need a basic distribution to start off. So you go and you look for distribution just to get your music out there to the world, and they will distribute it to different platforms and companies and stuff like that. And that's the route that you need to go to. It's the most affordable route. Just Google CD Baby. That's a very good one for people to use that's starting on a budget.
Okay. CD Baby, that's some great tips there. So different packages offered, and then but you really strong. I mean, I suggest that anybody listening right now who's looking to dabble into the musical industry or is already in the industry and looking to make their way around is do your research. We've all heard the horror stories of the artist who's gotten caught up in the wrong kind of contract and finds himself in a very different way. But do your research and make sure you fully understand what's going on. Precious, can local entertainers here or local musicians here reach out to you if they have any questions on how you have managed your career?
Yes, you can. Please feel free. Precious Shorty, you can put it in. Just remember, Shorty spelled Shordee. You can Google me. It's the same across every platform. That's my website. That's my Facebook. That's my Instagram. It's the same thing. So reach out to me, especially as a local artist. I'm here to support you guys. If you need some advice, I'm here to give it.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for that, Shorty. Now back to your recent nominations. So again, for those listeners who are just turning in, Precious Shorty on the phone with us live from the UK. Precious has been nominated for 2 different category awards as part of the RBE awards platform. This is for up-and-coming artists who are making their name for themselves right now in the industry. She's been nominated for the dance hall category along with the top female artist. And there's a people's vote, so 60% of the vote of the decision is coming from a people's vote, with the deadline closing on December 15th. Precious, how can listeners or your fans here at home vote for you?
If you go onto my Instagram, so my name is Precious Shorty, go onto my Instagram. There's a link at the top in my bio. You click the link, and you can go straight on to finding me. So basically, there's 2 categories. So you please scroll up and down the page, because I'm at a category on the top, which is the dance hall, and on the bottom, which is best female artist. Click on my photo, and that's it. It's that simple. If you don't have Instagram, you could just go into Google, put RBE Awards 2020, and that will come up as well.
So RBE 2020. And it's so straightforward. It's just click on your picture on the art. So you Google RBE Awards, RBE 2020 Awards. If you're not on Instagram, but if you are on Instagram, you just go onto your Instagram page and you can actually access all of the information directly from your Instagram.
Yes.
That's fantastic. And then what happens? Is there a next stage of this process for you on the RBE Awards if you win top female artist or top dance hall? What is next on that RBE platform for you?
So RBE, to be honest, if I won RBE Best Female Artist, that is top for me, because that's the top game for the female. So that would be absolutely amazing. And dance hall act was just given to me as well as a nomination. That's just a plus and a bonus. I was always going to aim for the best female artist. So that's just my agenda. Anything else is just an additional bonus.
Okay. And do more, I guess the question is, do more doors open up for you theoretically for your career as a result of these awards to reach that mainstream level?
To be honest, if you're winning awards and as a nomination for any type of musical company, that's leverage for you as an artist when you want to either approach, I don't know, a record label if that's your journey, okay, or if or if you want to just continue being an independent artist, that's proof of your hard work. So you should honor any nomination that you get, whether you get the award or not, because just to get nominated is hard in itself. And if you get the award, absolutely great, gold mine for that.
That's fantastic. Precious, again, congratulations on this journey that you've been on. And while many have struggled through 2020, and you've no doubt had your fair share of struggles, you've persevered through some very serious moments here. Now, if you could speak directly to all of our listeners, what would you say to them to encourage them to vote?
What I would like to say to you guys to encourage you to vote for me is I'm a born and raised Caymanian. Okay, I've been there my whole entire life. And as an island, not just for me, but for everyone, we should be supporting all of our local artists. So please pick up your phone, your laptop, your tablet. If you vote from any device, vote for me. And not let's just win for Precious Shorty, but let's win for the island.
That's fantastic. Precious, very well said. Thank you so much. And how can our listeners find you again, and how can they go and vote?
So just go onto Google and type RBE Awards 2020 and follow the link, or go on my Instagram account, Precious Shorty, and there's a link in my bio. Just click the link and you can find me there. Also, I've got some very, very interesting, great news for you. It's kind of a little bit of a surprise.
All right.
I'm excited to share it. So I have been, I had an audition live show last night on a company called Open Mic UK. So I'm sure many people may not have heard of it. It's similar to like American Idol, which is more familiar to you guys, but it's more for the music industry. So last night I auditioned against 28 over 18 artists, and I am happy to let you guys know that the judges did pick me to move on to a next round.
Congratulations. Well done. So this was the Open Mic UK. Oh, good for you. You saved that to the very end.
Leave them with a bang.
You left that. Well done. Like, there's a reason why you're an artist. You knew how to leave our listeners wanting more, right?
Oh, bless. Yes. So I'm really, really happy, really excited, really proud. The judges did pick me, and we move on to the next round. We will know in the early parts of next year how we're going to move forward. But yes, I will be posting that information. I will be sending it to your radio station so you have all of that insight. And also it will be on my social media later tonight if you guys want to check it out.
That's fantastic. Now, as far as the next rounds, are those televised or streamed online that our listeners or your fans in Cayman can actually watch it as well?
Yes, it was live on YouTube last night. Open Mic UK is what you have to type in. And I was on session 8. So you can just click on it and you can watch all the other competitors, stuff like that. They're definitely on there. So Open Mic UK is not a singing competition. It's an artist competition. Okay. So it's a whole package that they're looking for. And we have people from music labels that are the judges, vocal coaches. There are different people that were judges there.
That's fantastic. Congratulations on advancing into the next round of the Open Mic UK competition. That's excellent. Again, Precious, thank you so much for joining us from the UK. We do appreciate it, and keep up the great work with your career.
Thank you very, very much. Much love, everybody.
Thank you, Precious. All right, on that note, we're going to go to our next commercial break. We can come back. We'll be giving away 2 tickets for the One Love concert series tomorrow, Legends of Reggae, another event supporting our local artists here in Cayman. We'll be back with more talk today following this brief commercial break.
Heart attack, move your body to the limit, put your spice on that gal, try to lift your buttons and your knock kick back. This is not a puppet show, just bend your back. Heart attack, Move your body to the limit, put your spice on that. Girl, I try to lift your buttons and you now kick back.
Honey, our fridge has stopped working again. Everything in the freezer is melting. We need to get this repaired right away. I'm calling Brand Source Service.
When you need the very best appliance service, call Brand Source Service at 623-5000. Offering service and installation of all brands and models of appliances. Brand Source Service is Cayman's source for appliance parts and repairs with qualified and experienced technicians and the island's largest stock of appliance parts. Brand Source Service will have your repair completed in a flash. So, whatever the problem is, call the experts at 623-5000. Brand Source Service, Dorsey Drive, Industrial Park. Telephone 623-5000.
Are you ready for the reggae show of the year? Bacardi presents One Love Concert Series, bringing to you Mr. Notch and Local Motion 345, Stuart Wilson, Erica Asai, and DJ Nico. It's going down Saturday, December 12th at Coral Beach. Tickets only $25. VIP inclusive drink $65. Cabana packages $200. Available now at eventpro.ky.
Brought to you by Bacardi, Burger Shack, Supermix, Rubis, and Radio Cayman.
UCCI students, have you registered for classes in the spring 2021 semester? Class registration takes place until January 8th. Classes start January 11th. Spring into action. Visit ucci.edu.ky/myucci. Call 623-8224 or email admissions@ucci.edu.ky for more information. If you enjoyed The Honeymoon Over, you're going to love the sequel, Fat Chance. Once again, the Harco Theater will be coming live and direct into your homes and vehicles. As the Cayman National Cultural Foundation, CNCF performs Fat Chance on Radio Cayman. You can join us right here on Radio Cayman every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Starting November 18th until December 23rd. We will have a repeat of each week's episode airing every Saturday at 6:45 p.m. beginning on November 21st and ending on December 26th. Don't miss it.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
And welcome back to Talk Today. In case you are just tuning in, I'm Raymond Singh, filling in for Mr. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. And again, we're very pleased to have on the line just now Miss Precious Shorty, live from the UK, making some great moves in her career. And we would encourage all of our listeners, all of her fans here in Cayman, to help support their local artists in Cayman, in the UK. Miss Precious has been nominated for the RBE Awards for Top Dancehall and Top Female Artist. And to vote for her, you can just Google RBE Awards, and it'll pull up the website to where you can place your vote by just simply clicking on her photo, or visit her Instagram page, where she has posted all of that information as well. And she's also announced just now, wrapped up her segment by announcing she has been voted to move on in the Open Mic UK live competition. You can see her performance from last night by going onto YouTube and searching Open Mic UK. In just a little bit, we'll be joined by Mr. Alfredo Whitaker, president of the Cayman Islands Football Association. However, we do want to give away 2 tickets now. First caller to call in, 2 tickets for the One Love concert series tomorrow night, Legends of Reggae. The event will be taking place at Coral Beach with artists Mr. Notch and Local Motion 345, Miss Erica Sai and the Kuya Band, Mr. Stuart Wilson and Band, and DJ Nico. And all information can be found at caymanonelove.com. First question, first caller to call in wins 2 tickets for the concert tomorrow night. Where is the One Love Legends of Reggae concert taking place tomorrow night? First caller called in will win 2 tickets. Again, and just a little bit following our 1 p.m. headline news, we'll be joined in studio with President of the Cayman Islands Football Association, Mr. Alfredo Whitaker, here to discuss the recent release that government has resumed the annual funding in support of the Cayman Islands Football Association. A press release was sent out late last week with that good news, and unless you've been living under a rock, you would have known that there's been a lot of ups and downs for Cayman football. And so we're pleased to see that CIFA has now moved forward with their plans, and now the announcement that the funding from government has resumed. Now we have one caller calling for our contest. Good afternoon, caller. Thank you for calling Talk Today.
Hello.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for calling Talk Today.
Yeah, hi. How you doing?
Good, sir. Good, sir. Are you calling in for the contest?
That's correct, yes.
All right. Where is the One Love Legends of Reggae concert taking place tomorrow night?
Is it Coral Beach?
It is at Coral Beach. Congratulations. Hope there's 2 tickets you have just won, and if you don't mind, when I let you off the air, if you can give Paul in the studio your contact information, and you can pick up your tickets this afternoon at our station.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Congratulations, sir.
Okay, great.
All right, so there we go. We've had our first winner for 2 tickets. Later on this show, we'll be giving away another 2 tickets for the concert. Radio Cayman is a proud supporter of all local artists, as you've heard with our interview recently with Miss Precious Shorty in the UK. And the One Love concert series is just that. It is an initiative right now to support our local artists, especially with the COVID restrictions that were in place, and just the difficulty that is facing the arts and entertainment industry overall. Even though here in Cayman we're a little less restricted than other jurisdictions, it's still a scenario where these events are strong in support of local artists. So again, the One Love concert series, organized by Monster Media. We had them in the studio a few weeks back. Mr. Kenny Rankin, Mr. Notch, and Mr. Stuart Wilson were here discussing the importance of supporting local artists, especially during this time, and that is the purpose of the One Love concert series. So again, Legends of Reggae, Mr. Notch and Locomotion 345, Miss Erica Sai and the Kuya Band, Mr. Stuart Wilson and Band, and Mr. DJ Nico, all performing tomorrow night at Coral Beach, as we just heard from the winner. Again, later in the show, we will be giving away another 2 tickets. And again, this afternoon on our Super Jam show, more tickets up for grabs. But I do want to read a press release that was sent out by the Cayman Islands Football Association, and we'll be delving more in depth into this conversation with Mr. Alfredo Whitaker in just a little bit. The Cayman Islands government has resumed its funding support to the Cayman Islands Football Association by recently signing a purchase agreement for a CI $150,000 with the organization on December 2nd, 2020, at the CIFA Center for Excellence, before the attendance of the staff, executive committee, and members of the Cayman Islands government. The government had previously ceased all funding support to CIFA following the global financial scandal in 2015. This is a very positive development for football in the Cayman Islands. A lot of hard work has been done to successfully meet all of the FIFA-imposed requirements following the incidents of 2015, said Mr. Alfredo Whitaker, president of CIFA. As a direct result of meeting those requirements, we have been receiving support from FIFA and CONCACAF, and we are prioritizing the development of the game, Mr. Whitaker added. Mr. Whitaker explained that such requirements included several audits, which resulted in an improvement of CIFA's internal systems and controls, as well as meeting various ongoing reporting obligations to both FIFA and CONCACAF. It's been a long road back, but with the help of the executive committee and all CIFA members, we have not only met the requirements, but we have made the organization stronger and more efficient in several areas, explained Mr. Whitaker. Both Mr. Whitaker and the Honorable Minister of Sports, Ms. Juliana O'Connor-Connolly, signed the purchase agreement on Wednesday. The Honorary O'Connor-Connolly commented that the signing stems from the consistency the association has shown over the past 3 years. Not only do I think this is an historic day, there is a tremendous amount of significance to it, said the Honorable Miss O'Connor Connolly. We're going through this COVID-19 and quite successfully, thank the Lord. The timing is just perfect because football is up in leaps and bounds under the careful leadership of Alfredo Whitaker and his executive team. Mr. Whitaker explained that the CIFA Youth Leagues, which serve as the foundation of football development in the country, was recently restructured to enable a significant increase in the number of players involved and to increase the number of games played. Also in recent years, despite limited funding, CIFA has organized a number of international tournaments which were hosted in the Cayman Islands. When I was elected president, I vowed to look forward and to rebuild CIFA. With the help of many within the local football family, and now with the full support of the government, we have achieved a lot and will soon announce a number of additional plans to further improve on the successes of the past 3 years, said Mr. Whitaker. End of press release. Again, this was the press release released on December 6th by the Cayman Islands Football Association and their General Secretary, Mr. Marcos Tinico. So there we go. In just a few minutes, we'll be going to our 1 p.m. headline news. And when we come back, we'll be sitting down with Mr. Whitaker to discuss all the developments in football, from the youth leagues to this recent good news of the Cayman Islands government coming back on to support the Cayman Islands Football Association. And then later in the show, we will be sitting down with the team from Coca-Cola in relation to their new cans. Hopefully you've seen the new cans at this point, whether in your local media or online, and that is the cans which had received permission and are printed with the Cayman Islands flag upon them. Very tastefully done cans. We saw those cans ourselves here at the station just the other day, and just a very tastefully done design. We think this is a nice design, especially given COVID and everything that's going on. It just embodies such a community spirit behind seeing those cans. So we'll be sitting down with the Coca-Cola team later on in the show. Again, we do invite you to join our conversation at any point today. Welcome. Just give us a call at 1-800-534-8255 or 949-8037. Or you can always WhatsApp us at 925-3261. Again, if you're just tuning in for our show, earlier on we did have on Caymanian artist living in the UK, Miss Precious Shorty, who has been nominated for 2 different categories in the RBE Awards in the UK. So if you are listening, and we do encourage you to support your Caymanian artist, you can vote for her. 60% of the vote, which will decide her whether she moves on and receives the award, will be done by the people's vote. So your vote does count. Simply Google RBE Awards or go to her Instagram page, and you can access all of the voting information there. On that note, we're going to go to our 1 p.m. headline news. When we come back, we're sitting down with CIFA President, Mr. Alfredo Whitaker.
Tips to stay safe this holiday season. Take the pledge. Plan a safe ride home. Offer to be a designated driver. Ride the Purple Ribbon bus. Drink responsibly. Log on to ndc.ky for bus routes.
Arrive Alive 345. Take the pledge, designate a driver, or ride the Purple Ribbon bus on New Year's Eve. This message is brought to you by the National Drug Council and Radio Cayman.
Continuing the Caymanian tradition.
Let Cora keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
Let's read the news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman.
It's only 2 species that we have, on the island.
Generations present.
Your voice, your choice.
It is in the best interest of the people of these islands.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom. Today's biggest news.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
Once the first and second phases of the vaccination program are complete, the Ministry of Health says the borders can be reopened, but with a strict series of measures. Anyone who wants to come to Cayman without a mandatory 14-day quarantine will have to show proof of COVID vaccination and participate in pre- and post-arrival PCR testing. In international news, the U.S. Food and Drugs Administration has said it will proceed with emergency use approval of the Pfizer-BioNTech COVID vaccine. The FDA said it would, quote, rapidly work toward finalization and issuance of the authorization. U.S. Health Secretary Alex Azar said the vaccine should be authorized within a couple of days. The global response to the COVID-19 pandemic has driven the biggest annual fall in CO2 emissions since World War II, say researchers. Their study indicates that emissions have declined by around 7% this year. France and the UK saw the greatest falls, mainly due to severe shutdowns in response to a second wave of infections. China, by contrast, has seen such a large rebound from coronavirus that overall emissions may grow this year. Disney has announced that a third installment of Sister Act is in development, with Whoopi Goldberg reprising her starring role nearly 3 decades later as Dolores Van Cartier, a singer forced to enter the witness protection program and be relocated as a nun in a convent. Sister Act 3 will premiere on Disney+. These are your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
your voice, your choice, your radio.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
And welcome back to Talk Today. In case you are just tuning in, I'm Raymond Singh, filling in for Mr. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. And now very pleased to have in studio Mr. Alfredo Whitaker, president of the Cayman Islands Football Association. Good afternoon and welcome back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon, and it's always good to be here. Looking forward to a great 1 hour with you.
Absolutely. It's always a great 1 hour. It is. Usually an hour. Absolutely. Now, last time we had you on the show, and we've been asking many of our guests previously, like how they came through 2020, what they learned, how they developed through 2020 and COVID. But now that 2020 is almost behind us, we're now into December, we're now looking at 2021. So with that said, with everything we've all gone through in 2020, on a personal note for you, Alfredo, not Sifa Alfredo, but Alfredo, any resolutions for you for 2021? Anything that you have planned for yourself for 2021? Or
yes, absolutely. First of all, to be a better person.
A better person?
A better person.
Okay.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means that I would have more time, not only to take care of myself, but also my loved ones. At some point, you get so caught up in not only your regular job, but in my case, I was very, very busy with SIFA affairs that at some point I didn't spend enough time with my children. I didn't spend enough time with good friends, family members, and so forth. So sometimes you get tired, sometimes you are miserable. Sometimes you are just exhausted, and then words don't come out right. You don't say the right thing. You don't do the right thing. You're just not comfortable. So health-wise is not good. Sometimes you don't have that patience that you need to have. My grandkids, I haven't spent much time with them, except with my little Talia. So I decided that 2021 I'm going to spend more time with them and enjoy a better life, have a healthier life, with doing more exercise, eating properly, getting proper rest, and so forth. So those are one of my my resolutions. Be a better friend.
Be a better friend.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good one. I mean, it's a very holistic one. It's, you know, you just want to be a better. When you said better person, it sounded at first like you did something really wrong, and I'm going to make amends for it. But no, you're actually meaning, I want to be more holistically just better. I want to look after my family better. I want to spend more time with my family, and that's great. A very noble.
We have the perception that for you to be a better person, you have to be doing bad things like alcoholism or drugs or just being a crook. But it's just more than that.
Absolutely.
Right?
No, absolutely.
It's much more than that.
There's as long as you're better than who you were yesterday, right? It doesn't matter what it is. It's just being better than the previous person you were, even 5 minutes ago. So
Absolutely. Sometimes you drop to the level of people that are not that good because of what they say about you, or how they feel about you, and if you would just remain who you are, right, that shouldn't really bother you. So by dropping at that level, it makes you not a good person, because at some point you would hold that grudge or you would have some bad feelings. And I decide to put that aside.
Good for you.
I enjoyed my Sundays at Empsley Church. That, by the way, I have been missing a couple of weeks. But that Sunday from 10 to 12:30 is special for me. And I thank my General Secretary for that. And I thank his wife, Martha Tinoco, for that, or Martha Godet, because they allowed me to, not really they allowed me, they invited me to be part of that congregation. So for me, it been really, really, really good.
For you.
Without knocking down church doors, just that moment had allowed me to enjoy an internal peace that is good.
Good for you. So you might have answered my next question then. Is there anything you're leaving behind in 2020?
Yes, quite a few things. Quite a few things must stay behind in 2020.
Are you able to elaborate a bit on?
It would take the whole program.
Fair enough.
But quite a few things staying behind.
As long as you're leaving some of the things behind that don't serve you in 2021, that's progress, right?
That includes people too.
Many times it does. That's the reality. Many times it does involve certain relationships that get left behind, or toxic is always a big word nowadays, but those relationships that don't serve you and make you the better person that you want to be in 2021, those are the tough decisions that get left behind in 2020.
Yep, absolutely.
So good for you on making those decisions that are best for you. But moving on, congratulations are in order. The press release that came out, we just read the press release that was sent out the other day on air. But why don't you recap the developments over the past few weeks for our listeners?
The past few weeks for us has been great. We had a really good AGM. I think our members are happy. It's good to see your members happy. We managed to finally restore that trust from government towards the football fraternity in the Cayman Islands. This is a win-win situation for football. For us as executive committee and for myself as president is a personal satisfaction, but in my views and my goals, my objective is a win for football. We're here to serve footballs. We're not here to claim power or to show that we have any power, because we don't, right? We are administrators. We represent the football fraternity, and is a must for us to create not only opportunity for the football family, but to set better standards for our clubs to grow, and that would take us through the path of success that we talk so much about, right? So for me, it been It's been a very good week. I appreciate, I thank the Honorable Juliana Connor Connolly because she's quite aware of what is being done in football, of the programs that we had put in place. We have, or we had in the past, quite a few conversations, and it's not only beneficial for one club. It's beneficial for the entire football family. This include Little Cayman, Cayman Bragg, and obviously Grand Cayman. So I'm enjoying football now. Finally, I could tell you, Ray, that I'm enjoying football now. I could go to any stadium that those that are involved in football would see me. 20 minutes in one venue, and then suddenly I show up in another one, and so throughout the weekend from Fridays through Sundays. So it's enjoyable. It's really good.
Now, when you say you enjoy football now, you don't mean throughout your whole career. You're only now. You mean since you become president? Or is this a career scenario where you're only now enjoying football?
When I tell you about enjoying football now, when you're a professional athlete, you love what you do.
Yes.
Right? And you don't love many things that go through your football career as a professional. Example that you don't get the opportunity to socialize when you want to.
Sure.
You don't get the opportunity to eat whatever you want to eat. You have to go to bed at that particular time. And then every Sunday is a demand, because now the people that go in that stadium or attend the stadium are paying to watch you perform at the highest level.
That's right.
Right? So it's the love of the game, and you also get paid. Now, when you enjoy, when I tell you that I'm enjoying football now, I could stop at any little restaurant and buy me a sandwich or buy me a large curry goat with white rice and go and sit in the stadium, especially when the first division is playing. And when you look around and you have all of these little 18, 19, and 20 years old playing at the level that they're playing,
absolutely,
it's enjoyable, right? So now I'm enjoying football. I still have the passion and love for football, but now I'm on the other side of it. So I'm enjoying the work that me and my executive committee are putting in throughout many months and many years. Now we're seeing the fruit, the end product of it, that is really not the end product. It's just a little sprout of the product. So now I enjoy football.
Good for you. The end product will be when you win the World Cup. Right? Is that the end product? Is that the end?
We go by stage. We go by stage. And our first stage would be when our champion teams go and represent us at the CFU level and make it throughout the finals. When our national teams, we put them in every single CONCACAF finals. And when our senior national team qualify first to the Gold Cup 2023, not sure yet, maybe before.
Wow, okay.
That would start to be our end product. And obviously a qualification to a World Cup that I don't know at what level.
Sure.
And I hope I'm still around in this world to enjoy that moment and have me a nice
curry goat and white rice.
Curry goat and white rice with a carrot and pineapple juice.
I love it. On that note, let's go to commercial break, and then we have one caller on the line. Again, if you're just tuning in, we're joined by Cayman Islands Football Association President, Mr. Alfredo Whitaker. Back with more talk today, right after this.
Fidelity Bank would like to thank all essential workers. We salute your efforts and thank you for the sacrifices you've made to keep us all safe. During these challenging times we're facing, our top priority is the health and safety of the communities we serve. And while it's true that things are changing rapidly every day, one thing that will never change is our commitment to giving you the best and sound financial solutions to help you during and after the coronavirus pandemic. At Fidelity Bank, our focus will always be you. Fidelity, we're good for you.
King Sports Center takes pride in being more than just an ordinary gymnasium. For 14 years, their multi-purpose facility has been providing the community with a variety of sporting, recreational, and relaxation activities. King Sports Center has a bowling alley, lounge bar, multi-purpose rooms, powerhouse gym, rock climbing wall, bungee jumping, a 10,000 square foot rink, and so much more. For more information on the variety of services, call their friendly staff today at 946-5464 or email kings@candw.ky or visit www.kingsportscenter.com. King Sports Center, your one-stop shop for fitness, recreation, and relaxation.
Attention Caymanians, the registration deadline for the 2021 elections is January 4th. Caymanians turning 18 on or before the May 26 election may register now.
Every vote will count in our May 2021 general election.
In order to vote in the 2021 elections, you must register by the 4th of January. For more information, visit elections.ky or the elections office at Baytown Office Suites opposite the Wharf Restaurant.
Your Radio Cayman 6 p.m. news, Monday through Friday, is brought to you by Logic. Your life connected.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
And welcome back to Talk Today. In case you are just tuning in, I'm Raymond Singh, filling in for Mr. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks, and pleased to have in studio President of the Cayman Islands Football Association, Mr. Alfredo Whitaker, here discussing the progress that CIFA has had over the past several years, even during this year of 2020 and the COVID situation, and the recent announcement that the Cayman Islands government has recently resume their support financially for the organization. Just a reminder as well, later in the show, we will also be giving away 2 more tickets to the One Love concert series, Legends of Reggae, taking place tomorrow night at Coral Beach, featuring artists Mr. Notch and Local Motion 345, Erica Sai and the Kuya Band, Stuart Wilson and Band, and DJ Nico. All that information can be found at kmanonelove.com. Now we do have one caller on the line. Good afternoon, caller. Thank you for calling Talk Today.
Good afternoon to you, Mr. Singh. Good afternoon to Mr. Alfredo Whitaker here.
Good afternoon, sir. Happy Friday.
I'd just like to thank
Good
Mr.
afternoon.
Whitaker first before I say what I have to say. Thank you so very much for your hard work, dedication, and doing what you're doing, and getting the teams up and getting games playing and so forth, and international competition. And the dedication to thanks of the players and commitment and so forth. Not easy having 9 to 5 jobs and then going out practicing to play at the very highest level of the game, which is bringing me to what I'm going to say. What are your intentions ever, or are there any intentions of ever making this sport professional? In other words, have professional teams. Pay these guys some money. We have very wealthy people here, very high-earning people who could easily buy teams, 5, 6, 7 teams, if you have or whatever, and pay them professionally. We know what the guys are paid in England and so forth. I'm talking about the soccer, of course, and we know it's astounding what they make. The very top stars we know are making in a week what most people will never earn in a year in their lifetime. And we don't think that our guys will get to that level. We don't know. We can live with hope and expectation. But there must be a way. Instead of these guys having 9 to 5 jobs and then going to train and play and having to find insurance and health insurance. And we're not paying, and they're playing teams we know around us that these guys are all professionals. They're all being paid. And we know the difference between amateur and professional. There's not that hunger. There can't be that hunger. There, when you're, it's your life, it's your career. And to make this thing done require the dedication and all that from these guys. asking them to put out so much. Where is money here? We could have people who would back these teams, buy teams, if you want to call it that, like they do in every other country. And we see how successful sport is in the United States because it's backed. You have professional, you have amateurs, and you go from amateur to professional, and you start earning really good money. And I just can't understand why we can't try to persuade some of these wealthy, high-earning people here and companies to really buy a team and, spend a few $1 million and get teams going and pay these guys some money. Pay them some money. I'm not talking about $50 a week on some jerseys, on T-shirts, on shorts, and boots and stuff. I'm talking about several $100 a week and eventually much more than that also. It could grow into and make it a real professional sport. I've long thought about this. I've spoken to a couple of our known coaches. I'll call no names, and they seem to agree with me that this should be, especially one of them, I called him for years. This should be professional. Let's make it a career. Let's pay the guys. I see no reason why we can't move towards this. I don't see any reason, any excuse for this at all. There's plenty of money in Cayman. Thank you very much. I'll listen on for your response.
Thank you, and
Thank you,
thanks for your question. Is not that difficult, but it's not that easy. First of all, when we're talking about a professional player or getting the clubs to be professional clubs, is a whole different atmosphere that we have to look into. That would start from the younger ones. We're talking about boys or girls, age maybe 10 and up. All of these professional clubs, they not only sustain themselves by the corporation or the rich person that come and purchase the clubs as an entity. They survive from selling of players. They survive from the merchandise that is being sold. They survive from the spectators. The size of Cayman, right, that we're looking at 64,000 people. Just one stadium in the English, we're going to talk about England, in the English Championship League, that is the league below the Premier League, is bringing in 30,000 spectators, 40,000 spectators. So we could easily talk about making them professional or creating a professional league, but it wouldn't be sustainable for the Cayman Islands. At the end of the day, the numbers of spectators that we would have per game would be an average of maybe $2,000 or $3,000, and the numbers that we make, that we're looking at, wouldn't be sustainable. So the rich people that we have living in Cayman, we haven't compromised them yet. I mean, this is a very wide topic of discussion. We identify that we have 16 clubs in Cayman, but we have over, 300, 400 people that had come in here with large number of money, and at no point we had engaged them in any given sports for them to adopt a sport. So there is a number of reasons why we haven't been able to get, not only in football, because we have talented basketball players here in Cayman.
Sure.
We have different disciplines that we could easily talk about being professional in different areas. But for now, I could tell you that CIFA, under my leadership, is looking in creating a semi-professional league in Cayman that we would be able to sustain. We're not going to be able to pay players $30,000 a month. We're not going to be able to give them $5,000 per game, but we should be able to create a semi-professional league where the players could look forward for a complementation of funds that would make him make his living better, from what he earned from his job. So I appreciate your question. I was a former athlete, professional athlete for 16 years, and I know what the clubs for who I play for went through to get that money to pay the salaries at the end of the day, to pay the security that is a different security than what we have, to organize the venue that is not simply walking in a venue. So there is a lot of preparation that also is money invested before the end product is served there on the table.
You've covered a lot of territory with that call. One, I think you've answered the caller's question in regards to at least an avenue for players to become compensated. I think everyone would agree with Mr. Olson that it's very difficult for any type of professional athlete to go to a job, work all day, and then go train and then go play. There's no one's questioning that. The reality, though, is that, as you alluded to, it's very difficult to economically sustain. The reality is business owners or team owners do what they do from a team standpoint, not because of a donation, but because they do it for economic reasons. People buy teams because of whether it's tax incentives, whether it's merchandising, whether it's there's other avenues to generate revenue from that, whether it's city tax concessions. We've seen those numerous times throughout North America.
And Ray, that is just one part of it, right?
Yes, only one part.
The other part of it is the dedication and action of a player or the players.
Absolutely.
When you have big sponsors, the moment a player or the players make a wrong decision or do something that is not too smart,
on the field or off the field,
on and off the field,
absolutely,
you could kiss that sponsorship goodbye.
Absolutely.
And then it become a liability, because at some point, depending on the contract that you sign, they're going to ask you to refund.
Absolutely.
Because of breach of contract, right? So
absolutely,
when we talk about, especially at football right now, being professional, there is so many things. There is so many requirements. There is so many little clauses that the people that investing in football are looking into, because they don't want the money to go spend. If you sign a big star and for whatever reason, this person, they run a test on him and he's positive, he's 6 months out, and if he's your main attraction and you guarantee 30,000 people that go and buy a ticket to go and watch this player, now it's 30,000 people that maybe or maybe not is not coming, so you're going to lose that.
No,
so is a lot at stake, and is a lot to put in black and white, and is a lot of agreement that is not verbal agreement now, that is a signed agreement that is going to get registered in big law firms. So yes, we would love to have professional football, we would love to have professional basketball, professional volleyball, we would love that, and have the stadium packed with people coming to enjoy. But there is a process that has to be looked into very carefully. So for now, my goal is, before I serve my 2 terms or 3 terms as president of the Football Association, is to leave a base with a semi-professional league where you would have the opportunity to grow. And they start right now with what we are doing with our youth leagues, our youth national teams, our very young players, that we're teaching them and preaching to them what to do, what not to do, what is good, what is not so good.
And you're building a culture, like you mentioned earlier about the fans and the spectators coming out. We have to go to a commercial break, but really quick, because you're talking about right now rebuilding the culture of football and starting from that young age. And once you have built that culture, you can then start looking at filling stadiums, which is another part of those professional games. People have to be coming out to those games. Those games have to be watched. There's got to be a market for them, and you're right now creating that market with your youth programs.
remember that our stadiums are very limited also. Annex really don't have the capacity.
Sure.
Ed Bush don't have the capacity. East End don't have the capacity. So right now, the only stadium that we have with that capacity, a very small capacity, is our Truman Bodden Sport Complex, that you cannot sit 3,000 people comfortable seated. So infrastructure is another big one and a massive, massive one that we have to look into also.
All right, so a lot for us to hopefully dabble and talk about as we get back from our next commercial break. Back with more Talk Today right after this.
Thinking of getting a hybrid but don't know much about them? Vamped Motors has lots of great reasons why you should choose the new Toyota CHR Hybrid for a new ride. Hybrids save fuel, run cleaner, reduce CO2 emissions, and even recharge their batteries while being driven, so you don't ever have to worry about plugging them in. Plus, the CHR Hybrid is reliable, providing up to 1 million kilometers on the same battery and engine. And its sporty subcompact SUV look makes it fun as well as economical to drive. So stop by Vamped Motors to treat yourself this Christmas to a new fuel-efficient, eco-friendly Toyota CHR, starting from $31,900 while stock lasts. Happy holidays from all of us at Vamped Motors on Walkers Road.
The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. We are a not-for-profit, member-centric plan with a democratically elected volunteer board of trustees representing all sectors of the Cayman Islands economy. We have an all-in expense ratio of less than 1%, over 20,000 members, and $490 million in assets under management. We were the first multi-employer pension plan approved by the regulator in the late 1990s, and today we are still strong, secure, and are here for our employees and employers alike. If you would like to join or require further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you.
Find out about all the community happenings from nonprofit, community fundraisers, church events, and more with Radio Cayman's Community Bulletin Board 3 times daily. Don't be the one to miss out on the latest information for events taking place every day on all 3 islands. Radio Cayman's Bulletin Board brought to you by Savannah Pharmacy in Countryside Shopping Village, just around the corner, with everything your family needs and convenient opening hours.
And Royal Medical and Wellness Center in Baytown Plaza. Your health deserves nothing less than the royal treatment. Email info@royalmedical.ky or call 769-6230. WhatsApp available at 922-2119.
Tips to stay safe this holiday season. Take the pledge. Plan a safe ride home. Offer to be a designated driver. Ride the Purple Ribbon Bus. Drink responsibly. Log on to ndc.ky for bus routes.
Arrive Alive 345. Take the pledge, designate a driver, or ride the Purple Ribbon Bus on New Year's Eve. This message is brought to you by the National Drug Council and Radio Cayman.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
And welcome back to Talk Today. I'm Raymond Singh, filling in for Mr. Stilling Dwayne Ebanks, and we do hope he's enjoying his Friday vacation day. Again, we have in studio President of the Cayman Islands Football Association, Mr. Alfredo Whitaker, here discussing the recent news that the Cayman Islands government has reestablished their financial support for CIFA with a $150,000 signing. And now, Alfredo, correct me if I'm wrong, is this $150,000 for 1 year, or what is the term for this funding that has come through now?
Yearly.
It's yearly funding.
Per year.
Okay. And we do have one caller line. Before we go to the caller, a question regarding, we read the press release earlier in the show. Steve had to go through some hurdles just to kind of get to where you're at now, having regained the trust of the Cayman Islands government following everything that's occurred over the past, or previously 5 years ago, and before that. FIFA and CONCACAF have done their own work with you and reestablished their funding previously. What did you have to do to reestablish this trust with the government here in Cayman?
Well, was a long road, and was very similar to what we had to do for FIFA and CONCACAF. First of all, we had to finalize a forensic audit that took place from 2014 to 2016, 17, 18, right?
That audit was for previous years or for those calendars?
Previous years.
Okay.
Right. We had to satisfy with other requirements like having a finance department that is headed by Robert Sirison, Bobby. We have a finance committee, we have a compliance committee, and we have an independent body that is FINCOR, that is the corporation that is providing us the other financial assistance. Obviously, the different projects that is being placed in CIFA, the clean up, and execution. New policies, new procedures, not only for CIFA but also for the clubs.
How so for the clubs? How does that impact the clubs?
Now the clubs, they guarantee a clear audit.
Okay.
Right. So every year there is a clear audit that is presented to the clubs. This audit is done by Grant Thornton. From FIFA and CONCACAF side, they have independent auditors that visit the island every 3 months. Now
every 3 months?
Every 3 months they come and do the checks and balance. FIFA bank account is very easy. We have a main bank account. We have a bank account that is for CONCACAF funds, and we have another one that is for FIFA funds. So we don't have no mix. There is for each account there is different procedures. There is different checks, right? So between Robert, Armando Ebanks, that is our treasurer, our CEO of the company, that is Marcos Tinoco, our general secretary, and Ronnie Dunn from FinCor, we are completely covered in finance. That is the most important. Everybody wants to know where your money is going, what is being done with your money, and how it's being invested. And the other side, without the assistance or the full assistance from government, because government always assisted us. They gave us the opportunity to use the field for free. They gave us the opportunity that whenever we bring in uniforms, they waive the duties. So I've been receiving assistance from government at all times.
Sure.
Right.
So the assistance of using the fields, that's always stayed in place for the benefit of the players.
That's it.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. So when you complete all of this, and then we start to host international games.
Sure.
And we start to have international representation, and we start to create different format in our league, and our players, especially our players, start to get more comfortable in what is being done, and we start to see the massive growth in our youth league and in our young players, and we start to see the success that we are having with our national team internationally. Without that key part that is the money. Without money, you cannot travel. You don't have the opportunity to go on and compete internationally, to do more things for your players. And we start to have those success, right? That was key. I mean, that was a key part of what the Cayman Island government, and not only the Cayman Island government, but also FIFA and CONCACAF to return the funding, the full funding to FIFA. That's basically what was done.
And then for those listeners that are thinking the question, is there any strings attached to that 150 on where the money has to be spent, or where will this 150,000 be spent within the football fraternity?
Absolutely. There is a percentage that have to go to the that must be used for a technical department, or the technical director. There is a percentage that have to be used for the league, and a percentage that go towards projects. No, it's not business as usual anymore. That say here is the funds, right?
Sure.
You have to present quarterly not only your budget, but your leagues and your operation that is being done with that fund. So now there is requirements, and is great, because now you have to say, this is what I'm doing.
Sure. So before you get a check from government, you actually say, this is what I'm going to be using the funds for. Please, can we have access to this X, Y, or Z percentage of the funds?
If you don't present that report on what is being done, the next payment would be held back.
Could be held back.
Right. So.
Thank you. Thanks for clarifying that, because I think many were probably thinking the very same along those lines. Now, we have had one caller on the line who's been extremely patient. I do thank you, caller, for your patience. Good afternoon, caller. Thank you for calling Talk Today.
Good afternoon again, Mr. Singh.
Oh, good afternoon, Mr. Charleston.
I understand what Mr. Whittaker is saying. But you've got to realize, too, that the people who would purchase these teams would build the stadiums, as they do in any other place. And all you have to do is add extra stands. So Ed Bush, don't let the government have to do it. They can do it. They have the money. In England, we know, too, there's a big amount of money, billions of pounds a month coming in from the gambling. I'm talking about legal gambling, the football pools. That's been around long before I was born, and I'm a lot older than you guys. That's a lot of the money for the clubs comes from that also. But the point is, I'm not asking for them to be paid in £30,000 a month or £10 a month or even 5,000, but they can start out at somewhere. I remember a banker coming here, and I used to help push his car when he just came 40 odd years ago to get him going from the service station or so, to start it up. And now he's a multi-millionaire retired, and God bless him and all that. He could buy 10 of those cars and buy me one also. But the point I'm making is it can be done. If you look at all the negatives and say this, these people have a lot of money. They're earning a lot of money here. They can easily try to spend back some of that money here, and they could easily afford it. They can build the extra stands that's needed in the stadiums. You have the space there. All you need is the extra stands. This don't have to be any really big, expensive thing, and so forth. And it seems as if the only people who are earning anything are the people who are handling the money, which is, God bless them, they need to have a salary for. But the guys who are the factory workers, so to speak, it's a factory, in the mills, the football players are not earning anything. So we need to change that equation around, and let it can be done. There's nothing I see any reason why it can't be done, why we can't pay these guys, if it's even a $500-600 a week, which is pocket money to these guys. They spend it on an evening drinking out, any of these guys around here, the big boys. So let's be realistic. It can be done. There's other ways of making money out of it. We know that the T-shirts, the names, the emblems, the flags, all kinds of things, caps and stuff to help pay them. And then you could charge sort of a pay-per-view type of thing on television. You can arrange that and work that out. They charge Zooming on other things, conferences. They have people come down and pay them $500,000 or $350,000 for a 2-hour conference. Or what. It can be done. I don't see any obstacle to it why they can't pay these guys some money. There are a lot of people, quite a few people, I won't say a lot, not the vast majority by far here, but quite a few people earning big money. they could be asked to put back something in the society, buy these clubs, build these clubs. People would have a lot of fun watching them, and we're playing professional players all around us. They're paid. We know that. They're paid. All these football players around us in different countries are being paid some money.
No, Mr.
I don't see why we shouldn't be doing that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for calling, Mr. We do have to go to a commercial break. Thank you so much. On that note, I do appreciate Mr. Olson calling in, and he's made some valid points. If there's a potential market for it, and as you said, Mr. Alfredo, that one of your agenda items during your tenure is to see at least the start of a platform for at least a semi-professional program, perhaps the start of what Mr. Olson is suggesting for that future potential program down the road. But on that note, let's go to our last commercial break of this hour, and back to more Talk Today in just a bit.
CG Britke would like to wish our clients, their families, our staff, and our communities a happy holiday. In this time of celebration, let us remember what this past year has taught us, that we can be in different rooms, different homes, or on different islands, yet never feel apart. Because we are here for each other and stronger together. We look forward to the new year, to serving your insurance needs, and always putting people first. Happy holidays from our CG Britke family to yours.
Rotary. We've been part of the beginnings, the then and now of the Francis Bodden Girls' Home in Bodden Town and the Bonaventure Boys' Home in the West Bay. Rotary Central, along with community partners assisting students to overcome barriers on their path of learning during this pandemic, thousands of dollars in laptops. Support for the annual Rotary Island-wide health check and diabetes training by Rotary. The National Blood Bank, supported by Rotary since 1999. Lives saved, lives restored. Just a little of what we've done and continue to do. Rotary opens opportunities.
Are you ready for the reggae show of the year? Bacardi presents One Love concert series, bringing to you Mr. Notch and Local Motion 345, Stuart Wilson, Erica Asai, and DJ Nico. It's going down Saturday, December 12th at Coral Beach. Tickets only $25. VIP inclusive drink $65. Cabana packages $200. Available now at eventpro.ky.
Brought to you by Bacardi, Burger Shack, Supermix, Rubis, and Radio Cayman.
Talk today. But I do have some questions. Talk today.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
Because
listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
And welcome back to Talk Today. In case you are just tuning in, I'm Raymond Singh, filling in for Mr. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. And again, pleased to have in studio Cayman Islands Football Association President, Mr. Alfredo Whitaker. Recently discussing the good news for SIFA. That was the recent re-signing with the Cayman Islands government for financial funding to assist with the programs. And as Mr. Alfredo explained earlier, part of that funding has been allocated because of the improvements in the management of SIFA, and along with their finances and the various new policies put into play, and that funding being earmarked for various matters, including technical, league, and their future projects. Alfredo, but that's not the only funding that SIFA is attaining. You have FIFA and CONCACAF that are also assisting with the development of football here and the redevelopment of football here in Cayman. Can you walk us through a bit of that for our listeners so they have a general understanding of how the SIFA model is currently working? And with that, what do you have planned for 2021?
With CONCACAF, the funding from CONCACAF is a total of $175,000 per year. That funding got towards infrastructure. It got towards development of refereeing. It got towards development of infrastructure or any operational costs. Right? FIFA one is a lot more. but also our specifics. So X amount of dollars would go towards travels. So example, we'd have $100,000 that you could use for travel.
For your national teams, you mean?
For your national teams. No.
Sure. That doesn't go very far.
No, for us here in the Cayman Islands, just a weekend. We took the national team a weekend to Cayman Brac, and that was like $20,000 between airfare, transportation, accommodation, and food.
Sure.
Right. So.
And that's locally.
That's locally, and that's U.S., not even CI.
Sure.
Right, and then it have a bigger number for infrastructure. That is what we're looking forward now in 2021. Right, so to have access to these funds is not only a lot of work, but is a lot of paperwork and a lot of checks and a lot of perfect application, and is not an easy process. Is too many. Is a lot of time that you have to put into these programs just by filling out the application and providing all the documentation. So FIFA, my personal view, they go a little bit too much into it. Plus your monthly reporting from your technical department and us as president and general secretary is constant every month, every 2 months. Meetings, requests of what is being done and how it's being done, and so is a lot of work. Put it that way.
Sure, but
it's a lot of work.
Given the history of the past few years, I'm sure from the community standpoint,
we completely understand
there's a reason
that.
why we're in that position, right?
There is a lot of work,
sure.
But we have a really good, excellent general secretary, and Marcos Tinoco had done a fantastic job with that. I don't want to take away anything from our executive committee, Mr. Mark Beckford, Mr. Dean Brandon, Mark Campbell, Wendy Fisher, Amanda Ebanks, Ernest Barry, Peter Ken Barry, Alban Ruiz, right? But the heavy part of it, of our success, come from the dedication of our general secretary and our finance department. So that helps us well, and our technical group that I'm pretty much involved with is being terrific in the reconstruction of football in Cayman. So that is where we are. Going into 2021, we created I created a projects committee, and my dream is to have CIFA Center for Excellence, one of the best looking and operational one, not only in the Caribbean, but also at CONCACAF level, that included 41 countries. So the big step for 2021 is to build at our Center for Excellence. That would be the stage 2 of CIFA projects. That would be the expansion of the actual building that we have, and to build a 2-storage building that would have 4 dressing rooms, 2 dorms for up to 40 people, an upper deck, a coach's room, a press release room, public bathrooms, something not too big, not too small, but spectacular. And also the construction of our second football field. Currently, for the
at the same center,
right? Currently, we're looking into the proper lighting for the existing field.
Okay.
That we should have that ready by end of March, middle of May. That would be great for us. Putting bleachers where now that we could play football in our field, and then the other field going to be at international level. When I talk about international level, we're talking about the towers, higher towers, 1,000 lutz, and we're going to have all the facilities to host any international games.
Now, when we talked about earlier, the professional league seating and capacity was one of those topics. What kind of capacity seating are we looking at for these facilities?
The new field, we could, at a later stage, because all of this is investment, right?
Sure.
So the new field at a later stage, it would have the possibility of being 25 to 3,000 seating capacity stadium, comfortable.
2,500 to 3,000.
Yes.
Okay, sorry.
Right.
To make sure.
So that would be the icing of the cake.
Okay.
Obviously, the international participation of our national team in 2021 is definitely the complement of all of this. We are planning at short, medium, and long term. Right? In our short, medium, and long term is a massive development of women's football. That is one of my many goals, but have a special care for that. The girls was the first group that put Cayman in the map, and they continue to make us proud. And then the work that is being put in right now with our U15 boys and girls, U17 boys and girls, and a special little group that we would have at a U20, that would be 2021, 2022, boys and girls. Those two national teams at that U20 level going to be something very, very special. And I'm sure, like I mentioned earlier in the year, that that age group going to give us a lot of satisfaction. Right now, our senior men's national team is a young team. It's looking very good, very promising. We have some tough games ahead of us.
Sure.
But we are not afraid. We're ready to compete.
Good for you. That's that's the attitude you need to have. We're talking about the business of competitive sports, and if you're not stepping to that field knowing that you're going to win that game, you're on the wrong field, right?
Yep. We've been working hard. Some of us had worked very hard with our national team, not only mentally but physically.
Sure.
Right? And the kids, these young boys, start to feel that energy, start to believe in themselves, start to believe in what we are doing, start to believe in the training, and I'm sure that we're going to be successful.
Good for you, Alfredo. You've in the 5 years, 5.5 years now since 2015, in the incident, there's been a lot of changes in development and redevelopment and stripping back. We saw Lee take the role for a year or maybe a little longer, just to kind of steady the ship somewhat, and then you've come along and we've seen a lot of development in the sport, a lot of redevelopment in the sport from your youth programs. You've seen the youth leagues. So I think on behalf of the community, you've done a tremendous job. You and your executive committee and your general secretary and the full team within CIFA, from the coaches and the various club teams, have all stepped up and have done a good job of steadying this ship and at least getting you onto a correct course. And hopefully 2021 offers some more stability in that regard. Any final words before listeners, before we go to our 2 p.m. headline news?
No, just to thank you, Ray, for having me. And before leaving, I would like to wish every of your listeners, and even those that are not with us, Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. This is just the beginning of great things for football. The last executive committee that we had, I mentioned to the EXCO members that we, by far, are the group that have done so much in so little time for the development of football in Cayman. So thank you once again.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to a great 2021.
Thank you, sir. All the best and Merry Christmas and have a fantastic 2021. On that note, we're going to go to our 2 p.m. headline news. When we come back, we'll be meeting with a brand manager for Coca-Cola, Mr. Dario Rivers. And also, don't forget, we have 2 more tickets to give away for the One Love concert series, Legends of Reggae, tomorrow night. Back, more talk today following our 2 p.m. headline news.
Follow Radio K-Man on Twitter. All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Follow us at twitter.com/Radio K-Man.
Today's biggest news.
Radio K-Man.
It's only 2 species that we have here on island.
Your voice, your choice.
It is in the best interest of the people of these islands.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio K-Man's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
With your latest headlines, I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins. A woman is robbed making a delivery to a West Bay Road apartment complex Wednesday just after 6 p.m. She was approached by a male who threatened her, hit her in the face, and robbed her of cash and personal items. The matter is currently under investigation, and anyone with any information or who may have witnessed the incident is asked to contact Georgetown CID at 949-4222. In international news, UK and Russian scientists are teaming up to trial a combination of the Oxford AstraZeneca and Sputnik V vaccines to see if protection against COVID-19 can be improved. Mixing 2 similar vaccines could lead to a better immune response in people. The British pound could plunge by 10% or more if the United Kingdom does not finalize a trade deal with the European Union this weekend. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson warned late Thursday that the deal on the table was not right for the United Kingdom. U.S. actor Harrison Ford is to reprise his role as adventurer Indiana Jones in the Disney movie franchise. The film is to be the 78-year-old actor's 5th and final installment as Indy. The film is due for release in July 2022. Those were your headlines. I'm Felicia Rankin-Solins.
For the latest in news and information,
Follow Radio K-Man on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio K-Man app or log on to our website, radiokman.gov.ky.
your voice, your choice, your radio.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio K-Man's Talk Today.
And welcome back to Talk Today. In case you're just tuning in for the last half hour of our show, I'm Raymond Singh filling in for Mr. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks, and we've had a great show today thus far. We've been able to feature Precious Shorty, our one of our Cayman artists in the UK, and again, we encourage everyone in Cayman to support her on her journey, as she's been recently nominated for the RBE Awards for Dance Hall and Top Female Artist, and you can vote for her by visiting her Instagram page or by Googling RBE Awards in London, and you simply vote by clicking on her picture. And then hearing from Alfredo Whitaker just now on the various developments within the Cayman Islands Football Association and their good news of the reestablishment of the funding from the Cayman Islands government. But now we have very pleased to have in the studio Mr. Dario Rivers, brand manager for Coca-Cola. Good afternoon, Dario.
Thank you for having me, Ray. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you. Happy Friday, and we're here to discuss this beautiful can. I mean, the cans have been across social media now. We've seen the pictures popping up, and for our listeners who are watching on YouTube, you can see the cans very well positioned right here. Great product placement right here on our camera with the Cayman Islands coat of arms. Exciting to see this level of branding. We're talking about a major international brand.
One of the top 10 brands in the world.
One of the top 10 brands in the world. We're talking about the Cayman Islands coat of arms, which over the past 2 years we have been putting a lot of emphasis on via the protocol office and Celebrate Cayman.
Yeah.
And all the development in those regards with Celebrate Cayman and the efforts with National Heroes Day and just everything that's gone into this,
right.
And to see this together now put together in one nice little package.
Yes.
Walk us through the journey to get to this point.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, I feel like this embodies pretty much all of the things you just mentioned. Yeah. But yeah, as far as the journey is concerned, I mean, it's been over a year in the making. We started this project off, and we're so grateful to get the Coca-Cola portfolio that was a huge milestone in of itself for Tortuga. Sure. And then from then we started to think of creative ways of how we can be different and separate ourselves from the pack, do something special for the Cayman people as a Caymanian myself. That project was very near and dear to my heart. We worked with Mr. Hamady for most of the time, and unfortunately the untimely passing of him really put a curveball in the whole situation, how we wanted to go about the launch. We saw an opportunity for Christmas at the Castle. We met with Mona Lisa, who was just on air with us last week. And in mention to Mr. Hamady, it was a way of not just servicing the Cayman people, but it also turned out to be a great homage to him, paying in his honor. It was a project we really wanted to complete for him as well as the Caymanian people. So we're very proud of it and very happy with it.
It's amazing how much, like, in 20 years and 30 years, the story behind this can is going to be still resonating.
Yes.
And it's I think one of the reasons why I wanted you to come on the show and talk about it, because it is such a powerful can. We're talking about 2020, a year that's seen the world go upside down.
Right, exactly. And for me, the can in and of itself is an exciting milestone. I'm so proud of that. But it's about what the can represents.
Absolutely.
As you just said, it's about, unity, coming together as a Caymanian people. It's been a tough year already. So I think for Christmas, this was a wonderful way to kind of close out 2020 and kind of do something nice. It's a small token of appreciation for the Caymanian community is how I've been kind of putting it, which I think that pretty much embodies what the message I want to send.
Absolutely. Do you think people are actually going to drink the Coke? Or are they going to keep the can as a
I
souvenir?
encourage you to drink the Coke, of course. The Coca-Cola, I encourage you. But, of course, I understand not everybody wants to drink soda. I mean, there's many health reasons for it. Maybe you have some health concerns. Yeah. Don't drink it if you don't need to, but I want you to keep the can, please. Yeah. Put it on your wall. Put it on a shelf, bookshelf, countertop, anywhere. Put it in a glass case if you like.
It's a really funny story because I got my son a can. We don't drink a lot of Coke. It's like a rare treat when we do have one, right? But it's so a treat. Like if he knows he's getting one, he's like, "Whoa, boy!" Right. So he saw the can on the counter. He thought he was getting the Coke, and I went, "No, you can't drink it." And the look on his face was like, "Wait, hold on."
He was so distraught.
He didn't know why there was a can of Coke on the counter that I said was for him, but he couldn't drink it. And I'm like, well, I want you to save the can because this is a really cool can.
Right. And this is a unique, like to your point, this is a unique kind of undertaking in the sense that, again, it is a beverage. We would like you to drink it, of course, but this one is very special. We want you to keep it. Even if it's an empty can, don't throw this can away. Yeah, it's too special. It's so close to our hearts. It's something we don't want to just see tossed away,
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you mentioned the journey started about a year and a half ago.
Yes.
Was it done to kind of tie into Celebrate Cayman and the celebration of the coat of arms, or was there another motivation behind it a year and a half ago?
The motivation came from both that and just, again, the willingness to want to do something different, separate ourselves from the pack. This has never been done before. Okay. Nobody's ever done this before, and we saw an opportunity to really make a mark and leave our footprint, a big red footprint, I should say.
A big red footprint, absolutely.
On the Cayman market.
Or island print.
Yeah, exactly. And the response has been incredible. We're very happy with it. Absolutely. The debut at Pedro last Sunday, Christmas at the Castle, if you didn't make it, it was a wonderful time. We gave out a bunch of cans. We got to present it to Deputy Governor Franz Manderson and honorable members Anthony Eden, Dwayne Seymour, Captain Eugene. It was a wonderful time. Everybody was super ecstatic to get one, and we posted a video on social media just today. And later on, actually, after this, I'm going to be out by the cricket pitch stoplight giving out free cans to people in their cars at the stoplight.
All right, so it makes city and traffic that much more memorable.
Exactly. We really want to give this as much love and attention as it deserves, and we want to give as many cans out to people first before it becomes public. Yeah.
And then as far as the process to go through, because for most people, many people know that you can't just go and utilize the coat of arms for your own economic benefit. Right. There's a process.
Of course.
What kind of process did that involve for you?
Yeah, that's a very rational question. Now, we have a very, very great legal in-house counsel that we have, Neil Hamady. Shout out to Neil. We love you. He helped us out a whole lot with this one. We went through the government protocol office, as you can imagine. Yes. For all the listeners out there that don't know how that works, any official use of the coat of arms or any sort of island-specific branding or reference has to go through the protocol office. Yes. So, like I said, Neil went through with them. They were super friendly, very helpful. And then we had a few, as I mentioned off the air, a few creative freedoms that we were looking at that they said, hey, we respect it, but this is how we want it. And they were very nice about it, very easy. Without their partnership, as well as Coca-Cola's partnership, this would not have happened. So we want to formally thank them while we're on air.
Thank you. I'm sure they're listening right now, so yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Now, as far as the flip side of that coin, there was the Coca-Cola side. Was there anything on that side that required more approvals, or were you allowed to go and design a can?
Honestly, from the perspective, speaking on the behalf of Tortuga, we're very grateful for the partnership we have with Tortuga. I mean, they've created such an outlet for us to do a whole host of things that is just wasn't possible before. I mean, they have a team that's just so friendly, so helpful. When we brought this idea to them, they were all over it. And we posted a video on Tortuga as well this week, on top of the teaser video and the presentation video of production. So you can see on our Facebook, Tortuga's Facebook, how it's like being produced at the factory, packs and packs and packs down the conveyor belt, just flying out of the can. Yeah, so go check that out if you haven't seen that. That's pretty cool.
That is pretty
awesome. And again, they've been so wonderful. I mean, we're very proud of what we've done, and we're grateful for their partnership.
Are the cans done? Where are the cans printed?
So the cans are printed in our supplier in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Actually, yeah.
Okay.
So those are our top dogs over there. They're super good and super friendly. Yeah.
Will we see this possibly evolve into a tourism scenario where we could see these types of cans being given out as?
What I will say for that one, just to leave everyone with more anticipation, is just stay tuned. Stay tuned. I'll leave you with that one for that.
I'm not sure you're going to get out of the building safely if you don't answer the question. All right, so there is more to come, though.
Right. There's definitely some things in the works. Again, just stay tuned for that, and
all right,
we'll talk about that at some point in the future.
So there's a tip of the iceberg. We're going to see a lot more developments with regards. Yeah. Now, is there potential other products coming out?
No. What I can say is Coca-Cola Classic will be the core brand that we will use for the branding.
Okay.
It just makes sense for a multitude of reasons,
sure.
And which I won't bore you with right now. But this is what we're going to stick with, the Coca-Cola Classic can specifically.
Okay. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, is this just a special one-off for right now, or will this be the norm that people can buy in stores going forward?
So this is a limited edition run.
Okay.
Going through the Christmas season, and depending on how long stocks last, into January as well. What I will say is, starting Monday, you can get as many cans as you can buy from our Greenery location. And if you don't know where the Greenery is, that is the plaza where J. Michael is. We have a Tortuga store there,
yes,
right next door. Starting 10 a.m. Monday morning, you can go in there and pick up some K-Man cans. For all the listeners, that's where you got to go if you want to get some cans as quickly as you can, because they're going to fly.
They're going to fly out.
Yeah.
And this reality is, we're talking about a souvenir item that, again, in 20 years... It's going to have a whole history and a whole storyline behind it, right?
Exactly. That's why I say, drink the can, please do, but keep the can when you're done with it. Put it somewhere safe. It's something you're going to look back on decades from now and be very proud of, which is exactly what I wanted.
Absolutely.
And what we wanted it from Tortuga. This is a gift from Tortuga specifically. Our partnership with the government and Coca-Cola was, imperative to get this done, but this is a gift from Tortuga.
Dario, thank you for that. On that note, we're going to go to our 2:15 commercial break. When we come back, we'll be chatting a little bit more with Dario from Coca-Cola, brand manager for Coca-Cola, and also giving away our 2 tickets for the One Love concert series, Legends of Reggae, tomorrow night. Our question to win these 2 tickets, so you can call in after the break, is name 2 of the artists that will be performing tomorrow night at the One Love concert series, Legends of Reggae. We named them off a few times during the show already. That concert is tomorrow night at Coral Beach. You can find out more information at kmanonelove.com. Back with more talk today right after this.
Kirk Freeport's $40,000 Christmas sweepstakes is back. Spend $100 on your favorite Kirk Freeport store, and you could win one of 3 $5,000 cash prizes, or one of 5 $1,000 cash prizes. All purchases of $100 before noon on Christmas Eve qualify for all remaining prize draws. There will be the annual Rolex watch prize draw on January 4th, and loads of other great prizes. Our small boxes give big surprises, and a Christmas full of great prizes. Full details on KirkFreeport.com. Merry Christmas from everyone at Kirk Freeport.
This season, Vigoro is stocking something for everyone in our 2 garden centers. Christmas decorations, succulents, ceramics, blooms, orchids, garden sculptures and accessories, mobiles and garden furniture, water fountains and wall art, and even fairies for the little ones. Make it a Vigoro Christmas with a gift that will be treasured forever. Both garden centers will be open on Christmas Eve till 6 p.m. Merry Christmas from Vigoro.
The New Self-Help Community Foundation presents the 19th Annual Talent Exposition of the Arts with their first ever virtual concert. Get your tickets now at eventpro.ky. Streaming live on December 13th. You don't want to miss this. With performances by Erica Asai, Caitlin Tyson, Miss Universe 2018, Rico Rolando, Terry Williams, UCCI dancers, Lloyd Barker, Rita Estevanovich, Dream Chasers K-Man, Mariah Padua, Shantae Ramoon, Duncan Anderson, K-Man Music School, Soraya Anglin, Centerpoint Dance Company, Richie T, JC Patrick, Miss World K-Man, and more. The Talent Exposition of the Arts, first ever virtual concert, broadcasting live December 13th. Get your tickets today at eventpro.ky.
The road to becoming a British Overseas Territories citizen just became a lot smoother. You can now apply online at online.odg.gov.ky. If you or someone you know needs to be naturalized or registered as a British Overseas Territories citizen, or if you are a citizen and need to replace your lost or damaged certificate, complete the process at online.odg.gov.ky.
Listen to the general public.
Your thoughts are just a telephone call away. 1-800-534-8255.
What the public is saying.
Let your voice be heard. And now,
Radio K-Man's Talk Today.
And welcome back to Talk Today. In case you're just tuning in, I'm Raymond Singh, filling in for Mr. Sterling Dwayne Ebanks. And we're again pleased to have in studio brand manager for Coca-Cola, Mr. Dario Rivers. Here, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see our his Coke can, which is clearly displayed here in front of our camera with the beautiful coat of arms and great design, a very tastefully, very well done design with the islands printed on the background of the can as well. So Dario, great job again on the journey to get to this point, because it's not just a, hey, you know what, I feel like printing a can, off I go. There's all the steps in the process to get to that point. And,
exactly. And
you've got it. Now, again, to all of our listeners out there, we are giving away 2 tickets for the One Love concert series, Legends of Reggae, tomorrow night. If you can name 2 of the artists that are playing tomorrow night, 2 of the artists or bands that are playing tomorrow night, you will win these 2 remaining tickets. And again, we have more tickets being given away on Super Jam later this afternoon at 3 o'clock. So Dario, again, the cans again for our listeners who are just now tuning in for the end of our show.
Right.
Where can they find these cans, and how long are these cans going to be still out there?
Yeah, so again, if you're just tuning in, we have the new special edition Coca-Cola K-Man coat of arms can. You can pick it up next Monday, starting next Monday, I should say, 10 a.m. in our greenery location at Tortuga next to J. Michael. 10 a.m. we'll have a limited run of cans in there, You can pick it up while supplies last. You know, they're going to fly very fast, so I highly recommend you get there as quickly as you can if you're interested.
All right. And then how many cans altogether are now going to be in? Are you able to tell us how many cans altogether?
Well, what I can tell you, we have over 7,000 cans, or cases of cans, which is
fair enough.
24 in a case.
Fair enough.
We're looking at hundreds of thousands of cans right now. So
right.
We're well stocked, but they will go really quickly. Once we start putting them out and distributing them to stores on Monday,
absolutely.
All the bulk stores, Foster's, Cautious, these places, they're going to get it in really quickly. It's going to get in the shelves. It's going to fly, and we're excited about that. Yeah.
It is exciting, and that's like I said, I took a picture with my can. I know we've shared it on Instagram from Radio K-Man's account on a few occasions, and because it is a tastefully done can. I tell this story because it just happened last night where I showed the can to my son that was sitting on the counter.
Right.
And I said that was for him, and his first thought was, yes, I got a Coke. And I had to tell him the bad news that no, but you're not drinking the Coke because we're saving the can. And I don't want this can getting destroyed.
We'll get you a can that you can actually drink, though. That's a promise.
There actually is a second can sitting there.
He just doesn't know it yet?
Well, yeah. I didn't have the heart to tell him that there's a second can because that's actually mine. But I wasn't going to drink mine either. So I almost wanted to tell him, listen, I'm not going to drink mine either.
I mean, if I was you, I'd be just as selfish, to be fair. I mean, this is my can at this point.
Yeah. I think what I'm going to have to do is just go buy another case of Coca-Cola and then actually just give him a Coke and say, here you go.
Exactly.
And then it's the win-win. He gets one for the souvenir.
By the way, did everybody here in the studio get their can? And
they
they're
did.
happy?
Most did. So for our listeners, Coca-Cola delivered off a case, very generously delivered a case, and There was only 12 in it, so
right.
we have a few staff who didn't, so they're probably listening right now, and hence why you may not get out of the station in one piece.
There was no bloodshed, though, correct?
Yet.
I'm
sure there's going to be a fight at some point over the remaining can.
Oh, my gosh.
But no, we did have a lot of fun, and the staff were quite appreciative. Everyone that we were able to give to that day you could see like the smile on their face, right? It was an immediate, because when you look at the can, it just has this immediate gravitational pull to the can. You're
right.
like immediately attracted to
right.
it. And that's why I give you, who designed the can?
So it was an incredible designer back named Yohemi Mendez. She's another Puerto Rican employee for CC1, and she works at Coca-Cola North America as well.
Okay.
And they've put a lot of time and effort into this. They've spent the right amount of time putting the right design together. Yeah. They didn't cut any corners.
No.
They reached out to us at every step of the way. Is this okay? Is that okay? Would you like it like this? Would you like it like that? It was a very smooth process, actually. There's zero complaints with Coca-Cola on this.
That's great.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned that you're going to be out there today giving them out. Not that we want to increase the traffic congestion at that intersection any more than it already is.
Right.
But where will you be this afternoon?
So we will be, for a very short amount of time, from around 4:30, we'll be there just giving out as many cans as we can, as many cars as we can out by the cricket pitch, stoplight next to Credit Union. Just be out there. If you're driving by, take a look out for the Coca-Cola banners, the Coca-Cola truck, and the guys in the Coke shirts.
I'm going to ask, just so we can alleviate any kind of traffic diversions happening as a result of them trying to pull around to get to you,
right.
Are you going to be at all four sides of the intersection?
We will be covering all the bases, and we will not require you to come to us. We will come to you.
Okay.
Yeah, we will work it out.
You're going to be running through traffic and throwing cans.
Exactly.
Are you throwing the cans like football? Catch!
We're going to Hail Mary a few of them depending on distance. Yeah.
That's great. Just so people, if you are listening, if you're driving down by the cricket pitch this afternoon during traffic, do not make any sudden drastic U-turns to get over to them. They will come to you.
Yes. Stay in your lane, please. Be safe.
Be safe. It's a Friday afternoon. We don't want any accidents out there.
Yes.
Again, to our listeners, we are giving out 2 tickets. If you're still tuned in, you can remember who we have lined up for tomorrow night at the One Love concert series. Do give us a call. Dario, if people have any more questions about whether the procedures you went through on the can or any of the initiatives that Coca-Cola has on the go, how can they get in touch with you at Coca-Cola?
So they can reach out to myself directly at dario.rivers@trc-kman.com. Again, that's dario.rivers@trc-kman.com. And then we'll put you in touch with everyone that you need to. I mean, I'm the first point of contact. Carlos Espinosa as well as CARLOS, Carlos.Espinosa, ESPINOSA @trc-kman.com. We're both the managers of Coca-Cola collectively. He's a division manager. I'm brand manager. We work very closely together. So if you ever need anything from us, just reach out directly.
That's great. And then as far as 2021, I know you said we can't have too much information on what you have planned as far as the Coca-Cola can and the distribution. Right. But any events coming up on the 2021 calendar that you can?
We have no real events in place yet. That's actually what we're working on at the moment. Okay. Obviously 2020 has been such a roller coaster of a year, very unpredictable year, and 2021 is no different.
No.
Obviously we're very grateful to be in Cayman. Obviously, the government has done an incredible job at keeping us safe, but the world around us is still the same. Tourism is still highly on the decline at the moment here, and I wouldn't say on the decline. It's just more stagnant, just sitting in one spot, and we're all waiting to see what happens.
Absolutely.
So planning for 2021 is a very interesting process at the moment. So there's nothing really concrete I can say right now on air that is breaking news per se.
Okay.
Yeah.
But do you have a website that they can find information on, or is it more social media?
It's more social media. Stay on our Facebook page, Tortuga Fine Wine and Spirits. We funnel all of our content through that page. Instagram as well, Tortuga Fine Wine and Spirits.
Okay, so it's under the Tortuga brand, not under the Coca-Cola
Correct.
All right. On that note, listeners, last couple minutes, if you want to call in to win these 2 tickets, we do want to give a big shout out again to Miss Precious Shorty out in the UK, who has been nominated for the Dance Hall and Top Female Artist Awards as part of the RBE awards process. And this is for the up-and-coming artists, those who have not just made the mainstream just yet, but who are making waves for themselves. You can go on to Precious Shorty's Instagram page to access the voting, or Google RBE Awards 2020, and you can vote for your commanding artist, Precious Shorty. 60% of the of the tallies will be 60% of the vote is coming from the people's vote. So your vote does count in this process. Again, congratulations to her for her audition last night on openmic.uk. And her progression to the next round of that live competition, which is very much like American Idol for artists. And again, to the president of the Cayman Islands Football Association, Mr. Alfredo Whitaker, who was here during our last segment. Congratulations to that organization for their recent reestablishment of the funding from the Cayman Islands government and the process they have gone through and the checks and balances to get back to a point where FIFA, CONCACAF, and our own Cayman Islands government are now reestablished financial support for the programs and all of his efforts to redevelop the women's program, the national program, and all of the various youth leagues. And his announcement of the goal for the start of the new facility in 2021 at the CIFA Field of Excellence. And again, Dario Rivers, thank you again for joining us in the studio. The cans are amazing. All the best with the distribution this afternoon. Stay safe this afternoon when you're out on the road and during rush hour.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here. And remember, K-Man, taste the feeling. Share the magic. We'll see you soon.
Fantastic. I love it. On that note, we do need to call it a wrap for today's show. Thank you again to all of our loyal listeners out there in Radio Cayman Nation. To Miss Susan Watson, our guest, Miss Precious Shorty, the Cayman Islands Football Association, and Coca-Cola. And congratulations to our One Love Legends of Reggae concert ticket winners earlier in the show. It has been a pleasure bringing you talk today, and on behalf of the entire Radio Cayman family, thank you for sharing your afternoon with us. I'm Raymond Singh. God bless, and have a safe rest of your Friday.